Good morning, welcome to a brand new vlog. Today I'm doing a day in the life. Hi, I'm Zoe, I'm a part-time artist, full-time mum, I work part-time and I'm trying to be a full-time content creator, so there's not enough hours in the day as it is. But my dream is to be a full-time content creator and artist, and 2024 is the year that I'm dedicating my entire year to trying to make this dream happen. So today I have already done the school run, done packed lunch, all of that jazz. I've done a Tesco shop, so that's all good. Got some food and I bought some flowers, so I'll insert that here. Some beautiful flowers that I thought the silhouette or the shadow of those would be really nice to draw. I've also cleared off the coffee table here to do some work, but today is actually sunny for the first time in ages, and looking at the forecast, it's going to be the only sunny day for a couple of weeks as well. So I thought, why don't we start today with a really nice walk and go and see if I can find some shadows as well. That's the fun thing about the sun being out. I'm going to take my sketchbook and see if I can do some shadow drawings and see if there's any florals or flowers out at the moment as well. So let's go for a walk. So I decided to go out for a walk along the coastal path today, which was absolutely beautiful. It's so nice in the sunshine. I'm always aware of flowers and things that I'm seeing on the pathway as I go. And there were so many birds out as well, which sounded amazing. I love the sound of bird song. So yeah, all these little things are inspiring every step that I take. But it was so beautiful to be by the sea. Recently there's been a whale, actually, a humpback whale spotted just off the coast here. So I did keep an eye out even though I didn't see him. But yeah, just so beautiful to be by the sea. There's something so relaxing about that. And along the path, I came across all sorts of little flowers and blossoms. And all the time I'm thinking of little motifs that I can draw. How could I draw this in 2D? How would this look in my sketchbook? So yeah, these are things that I keep in mind as I'm walking. I do find though, just being out in nature is one of the most relaxing things, and it just feeds my soul in a way that nothing else does. So if you're ever having a down day, I definitely recommend just getting out for a quick walk, even just half an hour. It makes such a difference. And even though this is not far from where I live, I hadn't been here in ages, so it was just so nice to kind of familiarize myself with the place again, wander about. There's this bar of sand in the middle by a lake as well that's right next to the sea, and all these beautiful huge trees that are right by the path next to it. So it was really, really nice to just wander along there, seeing all the shapes and the things I could find as well. I really love these kind of, I call them like naked trees, the skeleton of trees. And something that was so mesmerizing to me is because it's been so wet, there are all these puddles on the floor and the reflection is amazing. And again, this is something I came across at Treba Gardens when I was there the other day, but just looking from a different perspective at the same thing. So a tree, which is quite normal, you can sort of almost glance past it. It was so fascinating to start seeing it from below, but in a puddle as a reflection. But I just love the structures that all the branches make. There was also some beautiful primroses as well on the forest floor, so that was nice to see. But yeah, everywhere I went after that, I could see these puddles and the gorgeous reflection. I think it helped that it was a really nice day as well, so the blue sky, it's just, yeah, lights up the world in a whole different way. So I'd love to try and draw trees. I think they would be quite cool to add to my mandala orbs, the kind of skeleton of a tree, but that's definitely something that I need to practice. And of course, with the sun out, there are so many shadows everywhere. I decided in the end it was very damp underfoot, so I didn't want to put my sketchbook down on the floor, but it was just nice to kind of notice all these things around me, kind of all the line work. This was something really fun, the tiny little fern leaves on a branch. So there was moss along this branch and then ferns were growing off the top of it. I then wandered along to the little cafe where they've got a new little bookshop, a second-hand bookshop, and I found a really, really nice book here which had gorgeous photos, but I loved these just simple line illustrations, and I thought this could be a really nice reference for my drawings. So I picked that up, as well as a coffee and some cake, and then I sat on one of the benches outside the cafe, just in their little courtyard area. And I sat here for ages just with my sketchbook, got my book out and my pen and everything, and just sat here in the sun. And it was so blissful. It's the first nice day in ages, and so it was really busy, but no one bothered me. No one came over to see what I was doing. I don't know if that's an English thing where people just leave you to it. They probably glanced as they walked by to see what I was up to, but no one spoke to me. So if you're ever put off by going to sit in a cafe because you're worried that people will ask you what you're doing, I've never experienced that as yet. I will say it was mainly because it was the middle of the day. It was mainly elderly or retired couples out on a hike, or it was young mums with their babies and their prams. So that was kind of the demographic of people around me. But yeah, it was busy, and it was just so nice to be sat in the sun. I just kept sipping away at my coffee, and I had loads of photos that I'd taken from the walk. So I'd taken those on my phone, and then I sat there and used those as reference images, and that was really, really helpful. I really recommend that as you're walking around. Any shapes, any leaves, you'll notice here it's mainly leaves that I was drawing and not really flowers. But I did manage to draw the primroses. So yeah, definitely take photographs and stills that you can then draw from. So yeah, there were loads of leaves around, and all drawing is good practice, no matter whether it's something you draw all the time or it's something new. So after about half an hour, 40 minutes, I decided it was probably time to pack up my sketchbook and head home. So I was just over there at the cafe. It was absolutely rammed, but such a nice place to just sit in the sun, taking in this view. Everyone's making the most of the sun being out today. It's gorgeous. So yeah, walking back, I spotted a few more flowers. There were some horses in the field, and then this tree, which was so amazing to me. I love the structure of the tree. I then came across these awesome leaves which looked like watercolour splatters, and that really inspired me that maybe I should play around with some paints today. Maybe watercolours would be fun to kind of get out and play around with. Again, the sun was out and it was so bright, and they were casting amazing shadows. At this point, I nearly got my sketchbook out again to draw these. We're kind of on a road section here, so because it's been so busy, I figured maybe I'll just go home now and draw. Well, I've made it back from my walk. I had such a good time. Wasn't expecting that. Just on the spur of the moment, I decided to go and sit at the little cafe that's there, and I drew for a good half an hour, and it was so nice. Oh my goodness, sitting in the sun and drawing is like the best thing ever. So I had kind of set up things here on my coffee table in the hopes that I would do some art here today. But you know what? I'm so inspired and the sun is so nice. I think I'm going to take everything outside. I think I'll take my paints. I've got my painting board that I can lean on, and I've got a camping chair, so I'm going to sit in the sun in the garden because the grass is still actually really wet because it's rained every day for like the last 6 months, it feels like. So yeah, let's go outside and draw in the sun. Okay, I've made this gorgeous little spot here in the sun on our little patio thing, and I've been working here in my big kind of sketchbook thing on this big paper. These are the gorgeous flowers that I bought this morning in Tesco's. So I've just been kind of positioning this here and then drawing around the shadow whilst we're sat in the sun, and it's come out with this quite interesting shape. So I have also got my watercolours, which I don't normally play around with. Got some there as well. So I'm now going to paint this in as well with colour, And this is totally an experiment. I'm just going to see how it goes and what it looks like. So let's do some painting. After feeling really inspired by seeing those kind of splatter coloured leaves on our walk earlier, I decided to get my watercolour paints out, and I had forgotten how fun these are to work with. Something I really love, and especially when I make mandala orbs, is that kind of fluid feeling. And when I first made mandala orbs, I used to use ink, or like Indian ink, drawing ink, anything like that. So I would kind of make a wet circle on the page just with water first, and then I'd drip ink on top and let it kind of splurge out and fill the orb. And that was really, really fun. And this technique here today has kind of reminded me of that. Just, I love watercolours, especially these. I don't know why in my mind I feel like watercolours are very pastel-y and can be quite, not drab, but just, I don't know, they have a very, I guess, natural organic feel to them. But for some reason the watercolours that I seem to own are really bright and vibrant, just like my Neo colours. It must just be the colours that I naturally reach for. But it was so fun to work with these. I do add quite a lot of water, but I was using two different palettes here. I've got my White Nights palette, which they are very pigmented, which are absolutely gorgeous watercolours. And I was also using definitely the cadmium yellow and maybe a few others from my Windsor & Newton watercolours as well. So that was really, really nice to delve into both palettes. And you can see here, like the pigment, if you don't add too much water, they're very pigmented. You can get such a rich colour range from them. So yeah, really fun to blend them as well. So that's something I love to do, to sort of have quite a wet page, use different colours next to each other and let them sort of merge together. I think they just look so beautiful, and it's the unexpected patterns that they create which I love so much. I have had so much fun playing with my watercolours. I've been using my White Nights watercolours here, and these, which I've never really used, which has been, I don't really know why, but it's been really fun anyway. These are the Windsor & Newton, and these are my Daniel Smiths, and again I've not really used them, so I've set these up here. These are the Daniel Smiths, and all the colours that I could create with just these three, but I've also used the black and white from here as well. So I'm going to play around with this palette. I just got another kind of plastic portable palette, really, really nice that I can carry it around. Nice that it folds up easily. I can use this with my brush pens as well, and how fun is that to just stick that in a bag. So great for portable use. But yeah, I just love the textures of watercolour. Look at this. I forget how beautiful watercolour is, and then this will be so nice to draw on top of. So I'm definitely going to play around a bit more with these watercolours over the coming days. But for now, it is time to go and do the school run. So I feel like I have had the best day. This is like my perfect artist day. Going for a walk, going for a coffee or something somewhere, sitting in a cafe and drawing, and then coming out here to sit in the sun has just been incredible. So relaxing. Yeah, I feel really on a roll again, and just, I don't know, such a nice way to spend the day. So yeah, I feel like I've been productive, and I feel like I know where I want to take my art next as well. So yeah, really, really excited to play around with these watercolours. But yeah, for now I'm gonna go and do the school run. I'm gonna take maybe my sketchbook with me, because I do have to get there an hour early in order to get a parking space outside school. So yeah, but I'm gonna record my podcast for my patrons while I'm there and do some drawing as well. So I still make use of the hour that I'm there, which is really nice. And then we're gonna go and see my Nana. So we'll play some games and stuff this evening, so that'll be really nice. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching all this arty stuff. I've also got a lot of editing to do today, so I'm gonna do that later on as well. So yeah, still lots of work to get done. It's really a juggling act. I don't know if any of you guys are parents. Trying to just fit everything in is such a juggling act. But yeah, I'm just so pleased that I'm finding time and making time to do art regularly is just so important to me. So yeah, let's go.